Ras Lidj Tafari, advocate of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. The time is now. The time is right for the lion to tell its own story. It is the time for the lion to roar.
What do you have to tell the people about Rastafari?
Light to the world. The king of kings and the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. I left himself. Where's my ruler? Hey yo! Yeah. Hear them high, hear the black king on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill. The lion will come conquer Judah tribe. Go to tribulation, I and I strive, see sufferation, I and I still rise. That's why we tell them, in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come if you tell them, in a Toronto, straight at it. Well, Haile Selassie I is the Almighty. And this is the Charles March Kwasi. Yeah, and this is the legendary king of these, from foreign and overseas. Listen. Well, even when a sound boy fall, cause him heart full up with grudge. At the sound clash we stand tall, and we will kill a sound boy with gloves. And even when the people start ball, when them see them favorite sound get judged. When the dance hall beat down them wall, them a say a king of these them love. I think I found the sound of a lifetime. Them killing whether day or the night time. The Almighty I made them light shine, and unto I them sound was a lifeline.
Let's talk about this Christ consciousness, because as Rastafari sons and Ayatas, we should be striving to attain this same level of Christ consciousness, which is exemplified in the life and liberty of His Imperial Majesty. I think this is one of the reasons that the Almighty live or take on the physical as instruction.
As an example to Ayana.
Yes, and what that looks like. So I really want, for Ayana youth, how can we apply? And this is why it's important to have these conversations, so that we know the character of a young Lidj Tafari, so that our youths them can be modeled. We can create an education system. We need a Nyabingi curriculum. We have a lot of work to do, because just like the Catholic have his school, where they inculcate their values to their young people, I and I should have our own curriculum as Rastafari, Nyabingi in particular, since we are Nyabingi here, but Rastafari in general. And I want to just bring it forward to how can we, as three ones that are versed in this knowledge, how can we bring this forward to the youths, or what ideas can we bring forward in terms of things that we can do to ensure that this history is cemented in the minds of our young people.
You see, they just not. Someone might not know, when I went to Ethiopia in '92, I wrote a journal titled Centenary Track. It covered the journey from the UK into Ethiopia and return to UK. Covered nice day-to-day journal as to what took place while we were there. Later on, I continued to write, because I figure more or less that writing and passing it on to others, my biggest problem was getting things published. Because later on, in my early days, I wrote a book titled Why I Am What I Am. And it covered, why do I praise Emperor Haile Selassie I? This is a book I wrote because when I found my empress to be, and the parents found out that I was talking to, oh my gosh, their beautiful daughter. They took her from the hills where I went to do farming and sent her to Kingston. So I said to her, give me a book and a pen, and I started to write. The title was Why I Am What I Am. So it covered the divinity of His Majesty, the dreadlocks covenant and ital liberty, That book was never published, but those who got to read a handwritten copy, it brought so many ones to the field. Later on, I said, wow, I need to write a book. Having come from Ethiopia and did the Centenary Chart, which was a booklet that was published in limited copies. Brother Miguel promised to redo it, but it has not yet been done. But I wrote another book that was geared for the children, and I think I need to go back in thoughts, guys. I lost the original handwritten copy because it speaks of the birth of Lidj Tafari. And at the end of the book, there is 100 questions. I did it in the centenary year also, 100 questions for the centenary year. So when a child reaching, let's say a simple age of reading and understanding, they will be able to read the book. Very simple. Yeah, Lidj Tafari was born July 23rd, 1892. Next line, his father's name was Ras Makanen, governor of Harar, his mother's name. So the questions would go, in what year was Lidj Tafari born? So we experienced, after the child has read the book, see to it that they don't go back to the book to find the answers. They do the answers from memory. 100 questions. I think booklets like those can help in a significant way to get the youth to understand the history. Part of my assignment is that every bingy thereabout, I try to present a questionnaire. I remember the first questionnaire at the 67th anniversary of the coronation. An elder said to me,
97.
Why you give me a test when you never tell me before? It's too sudden. I said, Bongo, man, you mean we are celebrating coronation from 1930 and now I'm 97? And you tell me, say, it's too sudden? I said, come on now, the questions are all about coronation. But, because we know about it, but we don't store it in our DNA. We don't store it from memory chip. So simple question, name the 7 ornaments of the coronation. Give me 3 psalms that was read at the coronation. Yeah, those are some of the questions we would have asked. Where the coronation ceremony took place, So part of it now, the Jazzman, is that you have done, I'm not read your book, but I know it's a powerhouse. I listened to you the other day, standing up for the integrity of his body, and I smiled.
Yes.
I said, yes, the Jazzman, nail it. Because I was on point. I was giving reasoning from a position of knowledge, in a nice, relaxed manner. And I saw myself and I smiled and I said, yes, this is what we want. We need Rastafari to study His Majesty in a practical, realistic way. Because we don't have to talk things where, fabricate things to show His power. What He did physically on earth is enough to exemplify and to show that, yes, here is the God-man, God-king, as J.A. Rogers said, as of Haile Selassie, it can almost be said, behold, the perfect man.
Yes.
So look at the things that he has done that has made him the perfect man, the God-man, the God-king, the Lion of Judah, earth's rightfully.
That is what I love about Rastafari, is that you don't have to make up anything. I don't need anybody to validate I spirituality. I just needed to accept the historical facts, and we're good. That's what I love about this tradition, because you cannot deny the work. The work speaks for itself. Mama Walete, please add, as an educator, someone who works in education, the way forward, because we don't want to just be in the history. The eyes of mother, raise Rastafari youth. Moving forward, what do we look like futuristic?
Yes, I think the Zoom platform is a good platform. I think I need to meet maybe once a month with Rastafari children globally, and have a session where they do some pre-work, put something out for them to read, and then they come forward with like a Q&A session, and each time they learn about something different. One time it could be the birth, the next time it could be the coronation. You know, and next time it can be the marriage supper. And next time it could be Wolo, Tegre, just all of the things, the foundation of what they need. Sometimes it could be high science, you know, within Ethiopia. And next time we could deal with law, you know. We can just even deal with what you would call diplomacy. Another time we teach diplomacy, really just preparing the youth to compete on a global stage and to be firm within their liberty, to love their liberty, to love their covenant, to know the importance of eating right, to know the importance of exercise, you know, not really giving them anything in the form of doctrine, but really just giving them the reasons for doing things in a particular way.
Yes.
You know, keeping them inspired, keeping them strong. And when I can, taking them to the continent, you know,
Yes.
talking about repatriation, talking about the importance of resettling on the continent and being a part of the new trajectory for Africa.
Yes.
You know, the new race mandate. I think all of those things are very important. But I love the way
And
that
we have to include some economics into it.
economics, yes.
Yeah, that's one of the topics we must include. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have to teach our children at a very high level. You know, to teach them at a very high level.
One of the reasons that I established the Lion Voice Network is so that we can get the message out there, that we can have a vehicle to tell our own stories, because I realize that we don't control our narrative as Rastafari in the public sphere. We have to go on other platforms, or there are a few platforms, or you know, there's no one that's really out here that's presenting a vision of where we're going, you know, in terms of building of Zion. And I think that is the task that we have been tasked with now, is building an alternative to Babylon. We know we burned Babylon, that's fine. What is our alternative? Because if we burn Babylon and we don't have the alternative, we will burn up with Babylon, because there's nothing for I and I to inherit. So when we talk about food security, we talk about water security, we talk about housing, food, clothes, shelter, we talk about the hungry fed, naked clothed, sick, nourished, aged, protected, the infants, cared for, the ignorant, instructed. All of these things that we say as a Rastafari creed, they have an economic ability, you know what I mean? And do we have that alternative system or ecosystem to Babylon in reality right now? And I think that is the work for our generation.
Well, for unto us a son was born and a child was given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called the Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Them call him Lidj Tafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Them call him Lidj Tafari. When he was grown, in airplanes he fly. They call him Lidj Tafari. The lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Them call him Lidj Tafari. Read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then born near the city of Harar, the inspiration for Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England or Cote d'Ivoire, no matter if you're brown or black like Qatar. Haile Selassie I fi end all tribal war. Time fi gather Mount Zion, fi drive solar car from the car straight to Zanzibar. Who we are, the sons of Lidj Tafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Lidj Tafari. When he was grown, in airplanes he fly. Then Lidj Tafari. The lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Then Lidj Tafari. Read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. royal governor from the age of 13 years. Leave the palace, fi go back in a school with him peers. He's the head without fear, he's one to be revered. When them call his name, then the heathen scare. Plus the priest concerned, and him teachers concerned. Cause all this little youth want fi do is just learn. But he waits his turn, till him turn the chess match. The people rejoice when they crown as the Rasta call him Lidj Tafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Then Lidj Tafari. When he was grown, in airplanes he fly. Then Lidj Tafari. The lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Then Lidj Tafari. Read your Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Well, Ras Makonnen call a meeting with all him general them. Say him funeral a come and him have something fi tell them. Him say, we fight together since the days of Adawa. Him say, protect my son and help him unite Africa. Well, them generals, them start cry when them hear this sound. Them say your wishes are come and then bow down to the ground. When him funeral they come, it shock the whole town. If you see this little youth, him have a army surround, they call him